Hello friends, welcome back. It's nice to be able to have a chance to flow with you guys again. That means you have returned, which I appreciate. Find a comfortable seat. You can lift the sits bones on a block as always to be able to find a little bit more lift through the shoulders and the crown of the head. Place your left hand on your chest. Fingertips of your right hand can touch on the ground. Really take a moment to settle in and maybe gently close the eyes and start to tune into the breath and really connect and root down to the earth as well. If we have nothing else, we have the grounding beneath our feet, even when things feel like it's a whirlwind. When we don't have control over the things around us, we can really ground down and take control over our breath, our movement, our actions. Exhale whatever breath is in your lungs. Deep, deep inhale all the way to the top. Exhale out through the mouth. Seal the lips. Simple 6 count. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, slight bow of the head. If you have some love to send somewhere, send it. Maybe this is a chance for you to tune in and set an intention for yourself. Feel free to keep the eyes closed. Inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale, bow forward over your shins, tabletop. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over your knees. Exhale, curl through the spine, lower your head. Inhale, drop the belly, cow pose. Maybe the gaze lifts up. Exhale, cat pose. Finding a nice string as it lifts that upper back up towards the sky. Inhale, drop your belly, cow pose, tailbone shoots towards the sky. Open up through the shoulders. Exhale, cat pose. As you inhale, maybe you shift one shoulder up. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, maybe your other shoulder leans a little forward. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, cow pose. Inside of the elbows point towards the front of the room. Exhale, cat pose, lowering your tailbone. Inhale, cow pose. One more round. Exhale, cat pose, finding some lift. Inhale, drop the belly, cow pose. Find a neutral spine. Walk your hands a touch forward. Lower your chin, chest, tailbone to the sky. Slide forward. Feet go back behind you, baby cobra. Lift up through the chest. Exhale, lower. Bump your hands out a little wider on your fingertips. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Open up through the chest. Exhale, gently lower. Toes together, knees wide, child's pose. Bring your seat back to your heels. You are always welcome to rest here in child's pose throughout this practice. Walk your hands forward a bit, make your way to downward facing dog, finding length in both side bodies. The inside of your elbows internally rotate towards the front of the mat. Index fingers and thumbs are pointing straight ahead or slightly out towards the outside edges of your mat. You can find a soft bend in the knees or start to pedal your feet, really shooting your tailbone towards the sky. You can even bend the knees in towards your chest, and that same length you find when you re-straighten your legs is the type of length we're looking for in our upper body, finding that long line of energy from our hands rooted down to the mat all the way through our tailbone. Roll to high plank. Place your right knee on the mat, pivot your left foot along the mat, modified side plank. Left arm extends to the sky or along your ear. You can even lift up your foot here if balance feels all right, making sure to flex the toes towards your face. If you fall out, no problem. You can also use your right foot and pivot it behind you like a kickstand to help with balance. Gently start to lower your hand and your foot back down to the mat. Exhale, right knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, curl in, puff in that upper back. Inhale, extend your leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Low lunge, drop your back knee, start to walk your hands towards the hip crease, open up through the chest, front knee is over your front ankle, perhaps you breathe up your arms along your ears. Really finding a neutral spine here, narrowing the stance if you feel like there's a big curve in your lumbar. Gently place your hands towards the mat, bump your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, curl the front toes towards your face. You can place blocks underneath the hands to find a nice lengthening in your spine. You really want to feel a long line from your tailbone to the back of the head, lifting up through the shoulders. Hip is over your back knee. Rebend your front knee. Use your right hand to start to scooch your foot towards the middle of your mat for another modified side plank. Lift the hips. Inhale your right arm towards the sky or along your ears. Exhale, lower your hip and your arm parallel to the mat. Inhale, extend, lift up. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, extend. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, extend, replant your hand on the mat. Bring your right foot to the back of the mat, high plank. Shoulders over wrists. On your tippy toes, really lifting up through your upper back. Exhale down to the mat to a 4 count. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, baby cobra. Open up through the chest. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Curl the toes, lift the kneecaps. Lift up to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll to high plank. Land your left knee on the mat. Modified side plank on the other side. Root your right foot along the short side of the end of your mat. Inhale your arm above your ears or to the sky. If you played with lifting your right leg, flex the toes towards your nose. Maybe you kick your right leg behind you or your left leg behind you to help you with balance, stacking your hips on top of each other, stacking your left shoulder over your left wrist, finding a gazing point to look at. Gently start to lower your foot and your hand. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Your left leg extends. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot between your palms. Lower your back knee, low lunge. Start to walk your hands in towards your hip crease, really finding that same neutral spine. You could even bring your back knee below your back hip. There's no need to do a terribly wide stance here. We just want to get a nice opening and stretch in that hip and right upper thigh. Soften the shoulders down if you have your arms up overhead. Cinch in the ribs towards each other. Gently lower, bring your hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, curl your left toes towards your face. If you need blocks under your hands, always use that to support yourself so that you can really open up through the chest, gazing towards the top of your toes. Rebend your front knee, plant your right hand on the mat beneath your shoulders, and you can start to walk your left foot halfway down your mat. You can even use your left hand to bring it there. And then you're going to lift up through the hips. Inhale your arm along your ears or up towards the sky. And then exhale, gently lower your hips and your arm parallel down to the mat. Inhale, rise up, extend. Exhale, gently lower. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back up. Plant your hand at the top of the mat. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, flow through any variation or chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Plant through the tops of your feet. Open up through the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise on your toes. Bend the knees, look forward, hop or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands up the shins. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, arms up overhead, hands touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, arms alongside your body. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, feet to the back of the mat, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open up through the chest, really engage your thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more round of Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, rise on your toes, bend the knees, look forward, hop or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Rise up, inhale all the way to the top, arms up overhead, hands touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands along your body. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, feet to the back of the mat. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Really root down through the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, tailbone towards the sky. Inhale your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. High crescent lunge. Right knee is over your right ankle. Perhaps there's a soft bend in your back knee so that you're not feeling any lower back pain. Arms can breathe up overhead if you want to play with straightening that back leg. Just don't compromise the posture in your back. We want a nice neutral spine here. Gaze is straight ahead, staying steady. Cinch the ribs in towards each other. Really engage your core. Lower your chest halfway. Keep your legs where they are. Arms can be alongside you or on your hips. Plant your hands back on the mat. Straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Your back foot, your toes can be towards the top left corner of your mat. Hug your right hip back. Use some blocks underneath to really find length in your upper back. Bump your left leg back. Inhale your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot between your palms. Bring your left leg to the top of the mat, flat back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your right leg to the back of the mat. Inhale your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Settle in. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Cross your body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot down, crescent lunge. Rise up. There's a string on your back heel lifting you up on your back toes. Right knee is above your left ankle, left knee is over your left ankle. Hands to your hips or arms up overhead, finding a nice neutral spine. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. Engage your core. And find your breath. Lower your chest halfway, arms alongside your body or your hips. Your front knee is still over your front ankle. Gently lower your hands down to the mat. Bump your right foot in a bit, pyramid pose. Right toes towards the top right corner of your mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, lead with your belly, then your chest, finding nice length in your whole spine instead of crunching over your leg. This should be a nice hamstring stretch on the back of your left leg. Use blocks if you need them. Rebend your front leg, bring your right leg back, plant your hands, high plank. Exhale, lower through any style of vinyasa. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Square your hips. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot, high lunge. Inhale your arms up overhead if you like. Lower your chest halfway, arms alongside your body or on your hips. Now we're going to transition to Warrior 3, but you're going to drag your left toes along the mat. We're not just going to launch into it until you softly get into Warrior 3. Lift up the chest a little bit. We don't want to go lower than parallel to the mat. Really engage your left toes towards the mat so that you're keeping your left hip square with your right. Find a steady gazing point. Start to play with straightening your standing leg. Softly bend your standing leg. Bring your knee in towards your chest. Flex your left foot. Inhale, transition to Warrior 3. Exhale, gently bring your knee in towards your chest. Inhale, breathe into Warrior 3, lower your chest, extend your leg. Exhale your knee into your chest. Gently place your inner sole into your thigh, Vrikshasana tree pose. Hands to heart center or your hips, arms up ahead to a Y. Really feel a nice engagement of pressure between the sole of your foot and your thigh to find lift through your upper body and through the crown of the head. I know the leg burns, but we can handle this with grace. Bring your left knee in towards your chest, extend your leg back, Warrior 3. Softly land at the back of the mat, Warrior 2. Back foot is either parallel to the back of the mat or toes are pointed towards the top left corner of the mat, arms to a T, right knee over your right ankle. Your gaze is over your fingertips. Cinch your ribs in towards each other. Really finding, again, a neutral spine. Exhale, flip your palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Open your right shoulder towards the front of the room, keeping your right knee over your right ankle. Bump it a little bit to the right. Exhale, modified side angle. Gently play with transitioning from modified side angle to reverse warrior. But don't dump into it by using warrior 2 as an exhale as a transition pose. So inhale here in modified side angle. Exhale, transition through warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior, open up through your right chest. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, modified side angle. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, modified side angle. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, find modified side angle, any sort of modification you like, perhaps planting your hand on the mat or on a block. Find length in both side bodies. So instead of having your hand on the mat, perhaps you lift up a little bit out of this pose so you have a nice long line of energy from your heel to the crown of your head. Find a comfortable gaze and a neutral neck. I know your front thigh is probably beginning to burn. Ignore it, breathe through it. Can we find grace when things are rough? Inhale, warrior 2, flip your palm, reverse your warrior, straighten your front leg, some sweet relief. Bump your left foot in a bit, cut your left hip back, extend your fingertips forward, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Your right hand can land on the mat or somewhere on your shin or a block, really lowering your right ribs down a little bit so that you find length in both side bodies. Perhaps you breathe your left arm to a T, really finding a nice stretch in that left hip and side body, really rooting down through that left heel to ground down and create the foundation for this pose. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Bump your left leg in a bit, pyramid pose, just like we did before. Or if you want a little more intense IT band stretch, you can start to walk your hands to the right side of your mat, pointing your toes towards the right side of the mat as well, finding a flat back here too, so you can bring a block with you. Your left leg is crossed in front of your right. Breathe into it. This is an intense stretch. Start to walk your hands back to center, pyramid pose. Plant your hands on the mat, bring your right foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga, elbows in alongside your body. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, open up through the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Plant your foot, high lunge. Make sure your left knee is over your left ankle. Breathe your arms up overhead. Start to lower your chest halfway, arms on your hips or against the side of your body. Drag your right toes as you gently go into warrior 3. Right toes pointing down towards the mat, lifting up through the chest, really engaging your lower back muscles. Start to straighten that standing leg. Find a steady gazing point. Soft bend in your standing knee. Bring your right knee into your chest. If you lose your balance, come back in. Inhale, lower your chest, extend your foot back, warrior 3. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your chest, flex your right foot. Exhale, lower down, extend, warrior 3. Exhale, right knee in towards your chest. I know that standing leg burns. Inhale, extend your leg back, warrior 3. Exhale your knee in towards your chest. Inhale one last time, warrior 3. Exhale, knee to your chest, and then find your way into Vrikshasana tree pose. Plant the right sole of your foot into your inner thigh. your calf, around your ankle. Just avoid the knee here if you can. Finding a nice firm balance between the pressure towards the midline. And instead of dumping into our lower back and arching our back, cinching our ribs in towards each other, really finding length from our heel through the crown of the head. Arms can be at a Y, hands to heart center, on your hips, whatever is comfortable. You can even play with closing your eyes here a bit. And if you lose your balance, just let it be play, come back in. Bring your knee back into your chest, transition to Warrior 3. Softly land your foot at the back of the mat, Warrior 2. Left knee is over your left ankle, arms to a T. You can even straighten your front leg and rebend it to just regain the alignment. Cinch your ribs in towards each other. Back toes can be parallel to the back of the mat or towards the top right corner of your mat. Flip your palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior, opening your left chest towards the front of the room. Keep your front knee bent. Inhale, modified side angle. Your right
left
forearm
or elbow gently
transition
on
here
your
on this
upper
side.
thigh.
Inhale, extended side angle. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, modified side angle. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, modified side angle. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, settle into modified side angle here. So fingertips can graze the mat here, either on the inside or outside of your, left foot here. You can use a block. Really try to stack your right hip over your left hip, opening your chest towards the right side of the room. Gaze can be on your lifted fingertips or down on the mat or somewhere in between. Gently rise up, Warrior 2, flip your palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior, straighten your front leg. Prepare for Trikonasana triangle pose. Bump your right foot in a touch. Inhale your left fingertips forward. Cut your right hip back. Place your hand somewhere secure on a block on your shin. Really open up your chest towards the right side of the room. Guide your chest over your front leg. It tends to bump a little bit forward. Really lower your left ribs down so you're opening through both side bodies. Try and find comfort and ease in this. Gently start to lower both of your hands on both sides of your front leg. You can bump your right foot in a bit, right toes pointing towards the top corner of your mat, pyramid pose. You can start to walk your hands over towards the left. Your toes can follow, pointing towards the left as well for a more intense IT band stretch, or just stay in pyramid pose. Find a nice flat back here and breathe. When things are tough, can we come back to the breath? Can we steady ourselves? Can we bring grace to the posture? Walk your hands back to pyramid pose. Bump your left leg to the back of the mat, high plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, root down through the tops of your feet, engage your thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Gently place your foot between your palms. Warrior 1. Left toes towards the top left corner of your mat. Square your hips towards the front of the room. Inhale your arms up, overhead. Front knee over your front toes. Settle in for a moment. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten your front leg. Lower your chest halfway. Revolved triangle pose. Place your left hand on a block or on the mat. Right hand can stay on your hip to encourage your right hip back a bit. Open up your chest to the right side of the room. Your right arm can extend, but we really want to keep the foundation strong here. The right arm is just an accessory. It's not the pose. If you want, you can start to bump your block up a bit for Revolved Crescent Moon. Start to lift your left leg up parallel to the mat. Shift your weight into your right leg, still opening your chest towards the right side of the room. Left toes are pointing down towards the mat. It can be parallel to the mat or a little lower. We just want to engage our glutes and really open up towards the right side of the room. Lower down, one-legged split, knee towards your nose, left leg towards the sky. One hand can grab behind the ankle if you want to have one hand planted on the mat or no hands. Bring your left leg to the back of the mat, hands firmly planted on your mat. Right fingertips, peace sign fingers around your right big toe. You're going to start to walk your right foot up towards the sky for side plank. If you want, you can just go directly to side plank and modify whatever way you need. You could just have your leg up to the sky or along your left foot as well. Find comfort and ease here. Inhale, high plank. Optional vinyasa, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, plant your foot, warrior one. Right toes towards the top right corner of your mat. Settle in here, squaring your hips, left knee over your left ankle. Arms can be up overhead. Settle in. Straighten your front leg, hands to your hips. Lower your chest halfway. Stay here in pyramid pose, or you can start to open your chest up to the left side of the room, revolved triangle pose. Bumping your left hip back, you can even encourage that by keeping your left hand on your hips or even putting a block on your lower back. If it tips over, that means your hips aren't squared, so we really want to encourage that left hip back for that reason. You can also extend the left arm to a T. Stay with it and breathe. You can start to shift your weight into your left leg, revolved half moon. If you are, right toes are pointing towards the mat, opening your left chest towards the left side of the room. It's an intense IT band stretch, squaring your hips. Right leg does not have to be parallel with the mat, but it can be. Both hands to the mat, standing split. Extend your right leg overhead, guide your knee towards your nose. Maybe you play with a little bit of balancing on one hand here or no hands. Gently lower your right leg to the back of the mat. Side plank on the other side, so left fingertip, peace sign fingers around your big left toe. You can lift up here into side plank, or just bring your left leg directly over the top of your right leg for just a steady, solid side plank. Left leg can lift up to the sky. There's no need to have your hand connected to your foot here. Back to center, high plank, inhale. Exhale, lower, optional vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to walk your hands towards the back of the mat, forward fold, peace sign fingers around your big toes or behind your shins, whatever is comfortable here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. You can find a soft bend in the knees so that you're really encouraging your tailbone towards the sky and there's very little rounding in your back. We want to kind of guide our belly and chest down towards our knees here. So you can even rest your belly on your knees, have a nice generous bend in the knees here. You can start to sway from side to side. What we endure here is challenge. We put our bodies to the test and really challenge and push ourselves. And it's exactly what we can do in the outside world. We can tune into our breath and face those challenges with poise and grace. Inhale to a flat back, walk your hands to the top of the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise on your toes, bend the knees, look forward, hop through to your seat. If you want, you can have 2 blocks beside you. Place 2 blocks beside your hips or books, something that can give you a little bit of height. You're going to place both your hands beside your hips with your legs extended in front of you. And you're going to lift your hips up, really engaging your core. Using the strength of your hip flexor muscles, lift your left leg up parallel to the mat or as high as you can get, curling your toes in towards your face and hold. Hold a little longer, you got this. Gently lower, keeping your hips still lifted. Lift up your right leg, curling your right toes towards your face, keeping your hips still lifted. Hold and stay with it, breathe. Exhale, gently lower your seat and your leg. Navasana boat pose. Shift your weight back, lift up your knees towards your chest. Really open up through your chest here. You can even hook your hands behind your thighs to really find lift and sitting on your sits bones. Finding balance. I know this is tough. You guys are working really hard, but you got this. Let it burn, ignore it, breathe through it. Soles of the feet are facing the front of the room, really flexing the toes towards your face. Let it burn. It's just for a few moments longer. Place your hands beside your hips, and you can cross your shins. As you lift your hips up, balancing on your hands, you can start to swing your crossed legs through behind you to high plank or straight to downward facing dog. Now lower to child's pose, knees wide, toes kiss. Bring your hips back, arms extended in front of you, forehead grounded down in the mat. If you need a block below your bottom, go ahead and find the support that you need here. Sit up on your heels and shift to either side and extend your legs and feet in front of you. You can place your hands beside your hips and stay here if you're feeling a nice hamstring stretch, or inhale your arms up overhead as you hinge forward to forward fold, leading with your belly and your chest, avoiding an arching of your upper spine. I like to put a block between my knees so I can rest my head on the block. You can grab the soles of the feet or your shin, making sure to curl your toes towards your face. Settle in here. Inhale, flat back, arms rise up overhead, sit straight up, cross your right leg over your left leg, stacking your knees on top of each other, cow face pose legs. We're not going to do the arms here, but really guiding your feet towards your hips. If you feel comfortable and your knees are stacked over each other while you're sitting up straight, if it feels comfortable, you can start to bump your feet out so that your shins become more and more parallel to the top of the mat, and stay here sitting straight up, or you can start to shift your chest forward and start to lean over your knees. Prepare to uncross your legs and restack them for the opposite side, or you can transition, roll over your shins, place your head on the mat, Shirshasana. You can do a headstand as you uncross your legs and recross them the opposite way and land back down into cow's face pose on the opposite side. Staying straight up here with your shins near your body, your heels near your butt, or you can start to ease them up so that shins get closer and closer to parallel, but always making sure that knees are stacked. Now, if you're finding comfort here, you can start to shift your chest forward and lean forward over your knees. Start to sit straight up, uncross your legs, point your feet ahead of you, bend your knees, scoot your butt forward, and slowly lower for a whole exhale, one vertebra at a time, all the way down to the mat. Bend your knees, feet like bridge pose. Feet are hips width apart. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, lift up to bridge pose. You can start to shimmy your shoulders underneath your body. Hands can clasp underneath, squeezing your knees in towards each other, really lifting up through the hips. Engage your butt. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Extend your right heel up towards the sky. Gently lower and then lift up your pelvis up. Gently lower. Pulse here just a few more times. Keeping your leg extended up ahead. Bring your knee into your chest. Lower your foot. Gently lower your hips down to the mat for a quick break. Knees can kiss. Exhale to prepare. Inhale, rise up to bridge pose. Left knee in towards your chest. You can extend your legs straight up, curling your toes towards your face. Gently lower your hips a little and then pulse up, driving your heel up towards the sky. Gently lower, press back up. Just a few more times here. I know it burns. One more time and then gently lower. Bring your knee in towards your chest and lower all the way down. Feet wide, knees can kiss, or soles of the feet together and knees can bump out, finding a nice stretch in your hips. Supta Baddha Konasana. One hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. Tuning back into the breath, steadying our breath. If your knees are apart, you can use your hands to guide your thighs and knees back towards each other, or stay here as long as you want. If there's any finishing postures, fish pose, happy baby, grabbing the outside soles of your feet and bringing your knees in towards your chest. Or make your way straight into Shavasana, straightening your legs out, extending them out towards the front of your mat, shimming your shoulders underneath your body to really open up your chest, finding your way to our final resting pose. Everyone start to settle into your final resting pose. Our everyday lives can be so demanding. The same challenges we face on the mat are the same challenges we face day to day, whether it's with a challenge with a coworker or a specific project or a relationship that you're having. The way that we tune into the breath and tune into ourselves and choose our reactions when we practice is exactly the way that we can present ourselves when we face those outside challenges, those challenges we face at work, with our loved ones, with the stranger on the street. Shava. Softly, deeply, start to connect back to your breath. Deep, deep inhale. Start to wiggle the toes, the feet, the ankles, the wrists. Maybe even breathe your arms up overhead for one final stretch. Bring your knee in towards your chest. Roll to your favorite side. Lift up to a comfortable seat. Thank you, friends, for taking this time, making this space, connecting with yourself. I love you all. Namaste.